Now, many of us will have fond memories of sitting round the table with family and friends playing board games for hours on end. And a cafe in Portsmouth is now set to open with board games aplenty for visitors to play during their stay. I'm now joined by the man behind this new business. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and we were having a little bit of a chat before we started recording there, and actually this is a side project for you at the moment that you're hoping to become your major business, but actually you're a teacher at the moment.
Yeah, currently I'm assistant principal at the UTC in Portsmouth, where I teach computer science. And part of this project really is inspired by, we're plugged into digital devices all the time. And I think it's nice for a family or an individual to take a step away from your iPad or your computer and do something a bit more traditional and spend some time around the table. And board gaming is the classic way to do that, really.
And that's the thing, everybody has their favourite board game, and many of them have caused a few arguments over the years. But I mean, is it going to be a mixture of well-known titles, maybe a few more kind of rare and obscure ones?
Yeah, a really good question. And board gaming's really exploded in the last few years, mainly through a crowdfunding pages like Kickstarter, for example. And it's brought a whole different genre of board games into the mainstream. So where traditionally you had your Monopolies and your Cluedos, now you do have your more obscure science fiction or fantasy type games. But they are finding their way into the mainstream sort of shops and also the family homes. So it's good to have a bit of a mixture of both, and also some titles hopefully nobody's ever played with before.
I think that's what was quite interesting. Having seen kind of a similar sort of concept before, is that you've got the kind of the very traditional games that everybody would have played. Sometimes you get like the special editions. So like I know there's a Portsmouth edition of Monopoly which has been very popular, and that's just to mention one. There are other board games available. But what are some of your kind of favourite, more obscure games that you're going to be having on offer?
So we're going to have thousands of board games. Literally, our library is going to be enormous. So when people come to the cafe, they have an overwhelming choice, and it's our job really as customer service advisors to help them choose the game that's suitable for them. So there's kind of mainstream ones like Settlers of Catan and Monopoly and Cluedo. There's some really, really obscure Kickstarter titles which are useful. Strategy games, a particular favourite of mine is called Scythe. Okay. If you're after an educational experience, Terraforming Mars is a very popular one where you actually take the planet of Mars and grow plants and create a civilization on it. There's also dexterity games which people may not have seen. So rather than play Jenga, there's one where you can chop down a tree with an axe, which is a similar concept. So lots of really obscure but similar and well-known ideas which are contained in a different package. We'll have them all, which is very exciting for us.
And as well as kind of opening this new business in Portsmouth as well, you're kind of kick-starting it in quite a monumental way. You're actually going to be featured at the Portsmouth Guildhall Comic Con this weekend as well.
Yeah, so this weekend is Comic Con. I'm really excited to talk about this. 2 days of geekiness, really. So we're going to be featured outside in the giant marquee gaming tent. Everyone's welcome to come and actually play some games and try our library out. But it's really a celebration of everything that's geeky and geeky culture at the moment, from video games to artists to comic books to movies and obviously to board gaming too. So really excited.
So are you going to get any time over the weekend to maybe slip away from your stands and go and have an explore at what else is going to be there?
I'd love to. I really would. I'm hoping that we're so busy that they're going to need all the members of staff in the tent at the same time. But I'd love to go and visit some of the artists for the comic books that I've grown up with when I was a child. So that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is this one is kind of primarily focusing more so around kind of the comic books themselves, less so maybe some of the kind of films. But there are a few kind of surprises to look out for over the weekend, I understand.
Absolutely right. So we're going to be seeing guest appearances from people that haven't been announced. There's some new artists that have only been added very recently. There's some events that are happening which haven't necessarily been announced, and also there's a huge cosplaying area outside, which for any of you guys that are involved in cosplaying, it's a really exciting way of celebrating, your favourite film or game or comic book. So.
Are you going to be dressing up?
No, unfortunately not. I left my outfit at home. It doesn't fit anymore. So
same old excuse. You can just put a pair of pants on over your trousers and then you're Superman. It's easy.
Well, the Princess Leia kit doesn't fit me anymore.
Oh, okay, no worries. But I mean, just give us an idea. I mean, what sort of family favourites will you be taking over the weekend?
So the board games, we're going to have all the family favourites. So if you want to come along and play Jenga or Cluedo and Monopoly, that's absolutely fine. We don't mind that. I don't shun anyone from playing that in our tent. I think it's important that that's their introductory game. But we'll also have ones you won't see in the shop. So lots of these obscure titles. And if you're after something in particular, so if you want a dexterity game or something that's a bit mathy maybe, or something where you can think and talk and strategize, we'll have 5, 6, 7 titles for you to try out on the day.
Fantastic. Well, we know you're going to be at Comic-Con at the weekend. That's fantastic. But if people wanted to come and visit your new cafe, your new business venture, where do they find you?
Right, really, really good point. So we're just at the moment sourced our property. We're signing the contract now. The renovators will be moving in the next couple of weeks. We'll be opening in the heart of Southsea. I can't announce exactly where yet, but at the end of the summer.
Just keep an eye out for you.
Please do. Keep it on our social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. That'd be great.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.